Hello everyone, it is Thursday, May 14th, 2026, back with another video reading from the Old Testament. The section I'll be going over is called Jacob Wrestles with God. It's from Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 32. So if you're ready, let's begin. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons and crossed the ford of the Jacob. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Then the man said, "Let me go, for it is daybreak." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go until you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he answered. Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome." Jacob said, "Please tell me your name." But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tendon attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tendon. I like this piece, these passages, this section. Jacob, a descendant of Abraham, who, the God of, the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims is all the God of Abraham. And Jacob is it's a short path from Abraham to Jacob, okay? So, this is a man who most would consider close to God. And he still fights with God. Struggles with God, wrestles with God. And I'm sure it's tough. It's not easy. After being woken up by God, about 10 months ago, there have been times, in the past and of recent, where I have wrestled, struggled, or fought with God. And pretty much 99% sure it was God. And it's a very difficult thing to comprehend, to process. But a result of that process is ascension. Jacob wrestles with God. That's Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 32. I think I'm going to leave it right there. God bless and good journey.